Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News. And I want you guys to go to the comment section and put in there what country in the world you're watching this video from. Having said that, today, oh boy, has been a crazy day. I mean, crypto is falling. We're tanking. No. Yet none of us are panicking, I assume. If you've been watching the channel for a little bit and you're panicking about a crash, can I even call it a crash? A correction like this? Nah, you probably haven't been watching the channel because we ain't worried. Crypto is the standard. Having said that, we must update, of course, on what I think is going on. And to be honest with you, it really coincides with what I told you all in the live stream earlier today. Bitcoin, ETH, the entire board here is going down about 7 to 12%. Most cryptos are going down in that fashion. And to be honest with you, I think most of it correlates back to the stock market falling down, China news coming out, inflation numbers being high, and everything reacting negatively to that, aerospace, and a couple of these other areas, I guess, doing bad. Fed speech, which people were kind of anxious for. More difficult announcements coming out throughout this month. December usually is already quite anxious, but this year, obviously because of the C19 and the huge inflation and whatnot, yeah, it's way scarier than it usually is, guys, because so many things are just like piling up. And so every time that stocks correct hard, crypto corrects hard in the same fashion. And as I already described to you guys as well, I've seen a pattern, I've analyzed the pattern, I've really found this pattern in the sense that every time Evergrande news come out, it usually, apparently, is in really bullish Bitcoin times. And so whenever some huge numbers about inflation are being talked about and the Evergrande news comes out at the same time, well, 2 days afterwards, Bitcoin comes back down. And that's exactly what we're seeing right now as well. The last 2 days, Evergrande has been really popping up in the news. Same thing for when Bitcoin hit its all-time high. And then a little bit afterwards, boom, things fall down. Exactly in the way at which we're seeing it right now. It's really interesting to me. Having said that, guys, I fear not at all. One of the worst things that can happen is Tether to kind of break apart a little bit because of Evergrande, but in reality, I'm just buying like a freaking madman. You guys know my targets. You guys know exactly where I'm going to be freaking buying. Right now, a lot of my buy targets have been hit. We are stacking up, and I saw a couple of guys over on YouTube say, no, Bitcoin is going to keep correcting. We're going to go down as a base to about $43,000 or so, but we're going to fall further. We're going to be falling further. Next target about $40,000, and some people even went as low as $21,000 for Bitcoin. All I can say about that is, please, by some miracle, if we do end up correcting to that way, I wonder how far my alts are going to drop, because on the short term, oh boy, is it going to be awful. It's going to be a little bit of crying. It's going to be a couple of slaps that I get from my family for introducing them to crypto. But at the end of the day, I think it's going to be worth it to actually get myself some more juicy crypto. And again, put in the comment section, would you buy the dip if we actually went as low for XRP as like 30 cents again? Or for Bitcoin if we were to go to 20,000? Would you buy? I don't think we will, but would you? That's my question. Having said that, guys, also and always, make sure you check out those links down below for BuyBit. Right now, the biggest bonus ever. $4,100 plus a couple of trading competitions to give away $1 million. I'm also giving away a couple $1,000s to people who use my link, so check it out. And also, we are using BuyBit mostly to get some juicy gains because we are buying all these coins that launch, and most of these do extremely well. With Real, we 20 timed our money. I think with SAS, we 20 timed our money. With PTU, I don't know how well we did, but at least it's hard to lose money. We're quadrupling, quintupling, whatever. And with IZI, I don't think it's going to be another 20 to 30x. But if we just make or multiply our money by 5, I don't think that's actually a bad thing. And I think it's going to happen for sure. So make sure you check this out over on the BuyBit Launchpad. All right, and then world's first Bitcoin ETF in Canada buys another $211 million worth of BTC. When I first saw this, I wanted to kind of go to the balconies and start screaming out of happiness because, well, Canada making some good steps. And I was honestly, let me actually turn on a freaking light because it's dark in here. I should actually set up a camera as well, huh? One of these days. I keep posting more on Instagram. If you guys want to see, you can't see me, but you can see my life sometimes. I post some stuff on there, so check it out. But I wanted to say, at first on Canada, I was like, oh, that's pretty bullish, nice stuff. Well, not really. Because when I was checking out le Twitter, Crypto Bug and Dugo, well, they shared this peculiar news. Bidbuy is delisting XRP January 13th of 2022. For no good reason, they're in Canada. And the little note states, Dear Bidbuy client, in consideration of new regulatory requirements for Canadian cryptocurrency platforms, Bidbuy will be delisting XRP as of January 13th. Please note that as of the end of January 13th, or actually the morning, you will no longer be able to trade XRP to Canadian dollars or XRP to Bitcoin markets, and you will no longer be able to make new XRP deposits to your Bidbuy account wallet. Oh, why? Why is this the case yet again? Thank you guys for tagging me, by the way. I always appreciate that stuff. I always check it out. If you ever have any news, make sure you keep sharing it with me, because one of these days, I'll give you one of the best shout outs possible, right? So big shout out to Dugo here. Big shout out to Crypto Bug. You guys should, I guess, send him some love for, sharing these posts. But man, oh man, is that saddening. And also, one of the things I shared over on my TikTok, which once more, guys, I'm not really proud of that I have an account like that. But one of the things I shared over on there a couple of days ago was my hard-worked little video. All right, I tried my best to make this. I still, TikTok ain't for me, but I'm trying. So make sure you check it out. The name on there is DustyBC without the HA. But check it out, because I already made an update that one of the other exchanges was delisting it. I think it was called Newton.co, also in Canada. And now all of a sudden it's coming more and more. I do wonder what exactly is going on over in there. Ooh, I'm seeing Digital Asset Investor also sharing some more stuff. Every single time I open my freaking Twitter, all I keep seeing is Digital Asset Investor and all those guys, or what's his name from Fox again? Charles Gasparino, and all these people discussing what Ethereum is hiding behind closed doors. Every single time I open Twitter, that's like the majority of stuff I'm seeing. It's crazy. It's crazy. So let's quickly check it out. Empower Oversight, of course, said we're suing them for another time. DAI said this SEC mess belongs to Gensler, but we need to never forget who's helping him. This is on them too. And we're talking here about a couple of people. I don't want to involve them too much because I don't know what those connections are. You know what I'm saying? We all know that Hester Pierce is on the good side, so to speak. I guess Roisman has had a little bit on both. Not exactly sure about that. I've seen him mentioned quite often. But he's only pointing towards these two fine ladies over on the... I cannot assume anything, huh? These two people here over on the right. And so, yeah, not exactly sure what they are doing. So I can't really comment on that. And I won't. All right, let's move on with some crypto juicy news. Huh? Oh yeah, I wanted to talk about how it got delisted, and I'm kind of wondering exactly what the new changes are in Canada, because I've been trying to look up for it, but I couldn't really find it. So not exactly sure how it works or whatnot, but it's interesting, I guess. By the way, let's move on. Australian Reserve Bank governor is skeptical about implementing a CBDC. Governor Philip Lowe said that there wasn't a strong case for a CBDC in Australia yet. Changing technology and public perception may change that, and he remains somewhat open-minded about implementing a CBDC in the future. Crypto is popular in Australia, and lawmakers are slowly beginning to think about more comprehensive regulations. Well, is this really a bad thing, though? Governor of the Reserve Bank of Australia has said that the country has so far not seen a case for a central bank digital currency. However, changing technology and public perception may change that as the country facilitates a more digital economy. Is that strange? They're not completely ready for it yet? No, I don't think so. So them trying to kind of get into it and learn more about it and now being skeptical towards it, it's a normal part of adoption. So I don't think that's weird at all. Then Bitcoin hits a historical milestone amid supply shock price prediction. Kind of funny, these guys were pretty bullish a couple hours before the big crash. Point being, however, in my opinion, that indeed there is a little bit of a supply problem that a lot of people are not facing right now or thinking about. Is the fact that I keep sharing on this channel. I keep shouting it from the freaking rooftops, all right? I keep shouting two things. One, not financial motherfreaking advice, because I don't give that, all right? Whatever I do, you don't have to replicate because it doesn't have to go well, all right? We just make decisions which we think will do well, but at the end of the day, we are kind of degenerates in that sense because I'm investing life-changing amounts of money into a thing I can never touch, right? A cryptocurrency. It's kind of, I guess my grandparents, if they would have kind of slapped me in the face, I guess, if they heard me do something like that. But at the end of the day, we're going for it. We believe in the story. But from that perspective as well, I think a lot of people are not thinking about the longer term in all of this. Because the second thing I keep sharing is crypto is scarce and it's going to be the freaking standard. Think about it. The fact that such a small percentage of all the Bitcoin still has to be mined. Eventually, I guess there is still, theoretically speaking, Bitcoin left to be mined, but so little. It's going to be such a rarity or oddity to have a certain amount of crypto when all these things are set. Because the less and less people want to kind of sell them and get rid of them. It's not like with the US dollar where it doesn't matter if you actually hoard it or get rid of it because there's an infinite supply. With crypto, there ain't. It's the same thing as things like even gold is not, it's finite officially, but we don't really know exactly how much there is. We don't know if it's going to ever be able to be gotten off of different places and whatnot, like asteroids I've heard here and there. And we don't know the actual amount either because we don't know if it was always disclosed by some parties how much they have and how much. It's not as like an official number. We have kind of an estimate, as with Bitcoin. And it's kind of interesting. Sometimes I keep thinking about the fact that we're getting closer and closer to the end. So logically, the stock to flow model in that sense, it makes a lot of sense. All right, then Bitcoin analyst Plan B talking about the stock to flow model says $69,000 is not the top for the cycle. Here's his latest outlook. I don't really care about what he posts, to be honest with you, because I'm not necessarily trying to say he is very much right. It's of course a hindsight type of character that it is, because even though a lot of these lines, these regressions are trying to predict something, it doesn't really accurately predict anything as of this point. Stock to flow model hasn't necessarily been accurate. He's changed it quite a lot of times because it's so hard to predict. However, I do believe in the line and the idea, basically, that generally speaking here, we're going to be flowing in a certain direction towards the upside. And this is just statistics basically showing the Bitcoin 200-week moving average. You might actually add to it that Bitcoin has always remained bullish ever since its inception. There's definitely something to be placed on top of that as well. Is Ripple time as a major asset coming to an end, or are we still accumulating XRP? If you really have that question for yourself, what in the world is going on? Sentiment said the XP network is currently sitting at about 81 cents, but smart money millionaires have kept up their one-year trend of accumulating more supply. Addresses with 1 to 10 million XRP hold 3.3 billion, including 6% increase to their holdings in the past 3 months. Yeah, these wheels are freaking hoarding it up, man. Nobody's letting go of their XRP that's thinking about this more clearly, because all these guys know their XRP is going to tenfold within a year or so, like at least that's what we are thinking. Again, not financial advice. So from that perspective, nobody wants to let go of it because you've held on for it for so long. It's better, I guess, to buy. And let's say you're investing $68 million, right? Crazy amounts of money. And by the way, this is like an inflow to an exchange, which is theoretically speaking bearish. I personally would like to believe that, hey, by the way, here it says, internal wells at the exchange earlier Bitfinex stated that BitDump is part of Ripple's ODO corridor. So this could actually be something along those lines because it's not officially been announced, but it's there. I wanted to say, from a certain perspective, I'm thinking, man, $60 million is a lot of money to put into a crypto, yes. But what if somebody tells you, man, it might not perform the best throughout the next couple of weeks or months, but within a year, you'll tenfold your money. Well, this person is going to become a billionaire rather easily, right? It's like such a good risk to reward in that sense. So even though it might not be the best performer in the next 3 months, 6 months even, once it gets the lawsuit fixed, boom, billionaire status. But we don't all have $60 million to our name to just quickly invest like that. XP millionaires increasing holdings despite price challenges. It's a fact. Indian banks are now are changing tact on crypto to tap new businesses. I keep talking about India over on the channel. I do actually ask at the start of this video where you are watching from. I want to know how many people are from India and will like all this Indian news. Because I think for a good part, a lot of these small parts about the new bill over in India doesn't really matter if you're not actually from India. So I'm going to check out in the comment section how many guys are from there. And that will also decide how much we post on it. Because I like it. I like all the Indian news because they're a big market. It's going to keep growing. And all my days is India taking over. It's severe. Polygons from there, by the way, as well. But India in the crypto realm and I guess business in general, they're a heavyweight. A lot of people are not noticing that. So I like to cover it, but I also need to, of course, check the comment section and check what you guys are actually into. And then Keanu Reeves, one of the national heroes, talks about the metaverse and crypto and laughs at the concept of NFTs. I think it's actually kind of funny how much it correlates with my own opinion in the sense that I think metaverse is extremely important. Cryptocurrencies are going to keep growing and become more important. But NFTs, as a concept, really good. The way in which it's being used right now and how people are building up hype, very bad. Many degenerates are going into crypto, thinking it's just a quick money grab and then get out. Buying an NFT is a guaranteed moneymaker, and they buy the art not for any specific purpose, but just for the sake of somebody hopefully buying it for more, which I guess you could kind of see as a Ponzi scheme in some degree, because a lot of NFTs here are not made for any good purpose. No, they're just made with hype to make people or make the, I guess, IDO, no, not the IDO, I guess the start, I don't know what the name, IFO, whatever the freaking name is, EDO, initial freaking sell out. Mostly people with whitelist make a lot of money off of that then because of the floor price, and then you're kind of stuck because there's no liquidity. Sometimes there is in the first 2 weeks, but afterwards it dries up. You're stuck with your NFT that's worth tens of millions of dollars, right? But if nobody want to buy that stuff, yeah, too bad. And that's kind of what I'm feeling with this, I guess, right now. But all right, let's not talk about that too much right now. That was it for today's crypto news. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. There's another video coming out later today, guys, and I want to hit 140,000 subscribers this year. So if you are not subscribed to the channel just quite yet, make sure you press that button. And I'll see you guys again in another crypto video later today. Make sure you check out BuyBit for some crazy freaking bonuses. $4,100, it's crazy.